Hello, dear babies. Rosa is here, and now we will continue in the next part of our story, which called French lesson. Are you ready to sleep? Are you ready for a new adventure for tomorrow? But you have to sleep right now because you need more energy to live tomorrow, and adventures are waiting for you, my little baby. I love you, and I'm here for helping you to sleep. If you're ready, we're gonna start this. The following day, the little lesson was French. Miss Michelin took Sarah and they went to classroom. Sarah was beside the miss with her dark clothes. She was still a stranger. The girls were looking at her carefully. They wanted to find a fault with Sarah. Lavinia was an older girl. She was not beautiful enough, whispered to her friends next to her. All the girls were whispering now. They had similar opinions. One of them said, "Look at the enormous green eyes. You can feel her glance, can't you?" Lavinia agreed with the others, and she went on. "What about the tartelean up under her skirt? She looks like a peacock." Sarah looked like she didn't pay any attention to all of this. She was silent and calm. Miss Michelin gave her a list and wanted her to look at the list until the teacher came. This was a list of the French words that they were going to learn in that month. She looked at it until Mr. Defarge came. Sarah looked at the French list. She knew all the words on it because her mother was French. She was speaking French with Sarah before her death. Her father was also speaking French with Sarah because he didn't want her to forget her mother language. Sarah wanted to tell this to Miss Michelin, but she didn't listen to her. Finally, the door of the classroom was opened and Mr. Defarge entered in. The Miss Michelin introduced Sarah and they meet. "Mr. Defarge, I think our new student isn't interested in learning French. She isn't even looking at the list." He looked at Sarah. Her father asked for a French servant for her to practice the language. Sarah was listening to him patiently. How could they understand that she wasn't interested in French? It was so silly. Sarah said, "My father wanted to marry it because he thought that I would love her." Miss Michelin wasn't expecting an answer like that. She got angry with Sarah. "You little woman! It doesn't matter to us whoever you love or not. You are here to learn. You look like a spoiled girl." While saying this, Miss Michelin was shaking. It was very clear that she got very angry. Sarah looked at Mr. Defarge with her innocent green eyes and explained to him that she knew all the words in the list. Her speech made him happy. He listened to her carefully. Then he returned to Miss Michelin and said, "Sarah could speak French very well. I think that she hasn't got so much to learn." Miss Michelin got embarrassed. She couldn't say anything. She turned to other girls and shouted at them, "Don't make noise!" Then she returned to Sarah. "You should say this to me in advance. You got the list and said nothing." "I want to tell you." "But you didn't listen to me, madame." Miss Michelin went out of the classroom. She wasn't interested in her new student because Sarah could speak out easily and frankly. In the next part of our story, we'll call A New Friend. It starts. During the lesson, Sarah was listening to the teacher, and on the other hand, she was trying to know the other girls in the class. She was scanning them very carefully. A short and fat girl drew her attention. She was tucking the ribbon at the end of her plaited hair. Her name was Ermengarde. The teacher wanted her to read the article. Her pronunciation was terrible. All the girls were looking at her. Ermengarde was very shy, and she was so sad about the situation. She was embarrassed. Her eyes were full of tears. If you touch her, she could definitely burst into tears. Sarah felt very sorry for her. She decided to be a friend of her. Whenever she saw a person who was in trouble, she tries to help her as much as she could. After the lesson, Sarah went closer to the girl. With a red face, she moved her hand. Hello, Margaret! The girl was confused because of this friendly behavior. The other girls never behaved like this to her. They always allowed her to respond this kind behavior. She answered Sarah happily. Hello! I want to introduce you to my doll, Emily. Do you want to meet her? Asked Sarah. Oh, of course! I would love her too. Is the big doll? Let's go to my room so you can see her. If you want, you can play with my other toys too, said Sarah. And Mingard was very happy with this offer. He held Sarah's hand and said, You're a very nice girl. Thank you for your friendship. They went to Sarah's room together. They sat on the ground. Sarah gave her doll to her new friend. She loved Emily very much. She was swinging it on her chest. Sarah told her too many things about her doll, and Mingard interested in it very much. She wanted to know everything about this talented doll. She asked a lot of questions. Can Emily really speak and walk? Sarah replied, I think that she can do them, but she makes my dreams come true. What kind of dreams are they? Don't you ever dream about something? Ermengarde was listening to her friends excitedly. Then she took a deep breath and said, I'm not clever enough, Sarah, but you're very clever. I can see it clearly. Well, I don't know this early. Sarah smiled. She remembered her father's words after her. My clever kitty. When she remembered his words, she realized that she missed him very much. She felt very sad. And Mangard wasn't expecting a reaction like this. She wasn't never thought about this before. She was afraid of her father. Is that the feeling of love? Her father was very clever. He couldn't bear his daughters being backward. The girl knew all about this and answered Sarah's question. I can't see my father very often. He is always in his library and reads a lot of books. He's rarely get up of the room. Sarah thought of for a while, and she tried to figure out the situation and added, I love my dad more than anything in this world. But he's very far away from me. Her new friends loved Sarah very much. She said, Lavinia and Pesvi are my best friends. Do you choose me as your best friend? That you're I know that you're the cleverest girl in the class, and I'm the silliest one. I know it. But If you want, I can be your best friend because I love you very much. Sarah smiled happily. She felt stronger. She talked exactly. I'm very glad to hear this. Yes, we're going to be best friends. I will help you with your French lesson. In a short time, you will be better than them. It's end of this part of story, babe. Thank you for listening my story. I love you so much and have a good dream. Sleep well and sweet dreams will be with you. I'm so sorry if I make some silly faults. I'm just beginner about reading stories to anyone. Love you and bye bye. I'm Rosa and I'm always here to help you to sleep.